Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems with Stephen Allen and Erich McElroy. Starting soon. Stephen Allen and Erich McElroy.
Who's done a terrific job.
Why, thank you. Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems with Stephen Allen and Erich McElroy. Starting soon. Streaming live on the internet.
And I think you said you're going to test that too.
We did test it. Yeah, it works sometimes. Starting soon. Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems with Stephen Allen and Erich McElroy. Starting soon. Doing online shows.
For much longer than I would have liked.
Suit yourself. Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems with Stephen Allen and Erich McElroy. Starting soon. From their tidied up offices.
And then I see the disinfectant.
You do not want to know what happened in there before. Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems with Stephen Allen and Erich McElroy. Starting soon. Answering the questions from
you, the people of this country.
If you email them in comics@somenews.co.uk or tweet at Mr. Stephen Allen or at Erich McElroy. Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems with Stephen Allen and Erich McElroy. Starting soon. Starting soon.
In a minute. 1 minute.
Well, maybe a bit longer than a minute, but soon. Soon. Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems with Stephen Allen and Erich McElroy. Starting soon. The web show we started because we were out of work.
And it is still true.
All right, don't rub it in. Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems with Stephen Allen and Erich McElroy. Starting soon. Using their expertise to solve problems.
You're going to have to use medical doctors with.
No, just two comedians talking rubbish out of their face holes. Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems with Stephen Allen and Erich McElroy. Starting soon. Lockdown 2020, giving Stephen Allen
Hello, and welcome to Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems. I'm Stephen Allen.
And I'm Erich McElroy, and welcome to the show where comics in quarantine solve problems. Took us a lot of time to come up with the name of the show, but it says what it is, basically. I mean, we're not technically in quarantine, we are in lockdown, but that just didn't sound as good, so we went with that.
And also,
nice
I have, just to butt in, I've been pretending that I'm in quarantine rather than lockdown, because that implies that I've just come back from a holiday. And it just makes me seem fancier. Also, like someone who's just come back from holiday, I spent a lot of time moaning how it's not sunny anymore. So I'm really living it. I'm committing to the role.
That's it. That's what it's all about. This is about committing to the role because that's all we have these days. Because as comics, we have nothing else to do. But this is the show where we solve your problems. If you want to send them to us, there's various media platforms that we're monitoring, and so we can see your messages there. And we solve the problems of the world, don't we? And I think since we started the show about 5 or 6 weeks ago, the world has gotten better.
Yeah. Makes me think we're not good at solving problems. If anything, we've made it worse.
I think that is quite possible. But we are going to cover some headlines. But if you want to send us some things to solve for you during the show, send them through and we'll do our best. But we also want to cover the news that's out there.
Yep. So, look, the story we need to talk about is, who would have thought, well done, America. I would have presumed that during a global pandemic that is killing people left, right and centre, it would be difficult to get a worse news story than that. But America, well done. Fair play to you.
Thanks.
So it's not, in a sense, just about the killing of George Floyd. It's about the response to it and Donald Trump's response to it that somehow managed to make a bad thing worse. It shouldn't be a difficult story, really. It should be, that thing is bad, let's stop doing it. Should be as simple as that. But that's not what's happened. The discussion has turned into rows. Celebrities got involved as well. And today we woke up to find out that the artist formerly known as Princess Meghan decided to have her say as well. She said this.
And I wasn't sure what I could say to you. I wanted to say the right thing, and I was really nervous that I wouldn't, or that it would get picked apart. And I realized the only wrong thing to say is to say nothing.
It's like she's never heard of Donald Trump. The only wrong thing to say is nothing. Challenge accepted.
You just need that asterisk on everything.
Yeah, except for Donald Trump, because he managed to find wrong things to say. For example,
I will deploy the United States military and quickly solve the problem.
I mean, this is a time when your former nation's president has gone to war with his own people. Yeah. For years, right, when America's been talking about guns and then someone will say something like, well, we need our guns in case the government try to oppress us. You think the government is never going to go to war with you. Get a grip. And it turns out I was wrong. I need to apologize to the conspiracy theorists like Alex Jones. I mean, I need to apologize to Alex Jones for a lot of reasons, including this. I will eat your ass. If I need food, I will debase myself sexually. That's episode 9. Go and find it on YouTube. You can watch the whole thing. Wow, I've let myself go since then.
Look at the transformation in you in that episode. I mean, that's one of those flashbacks that normally be like 9 years, but that's just a few weeks ago.
That is a flashback, like showing a scene of when someone else played Pippa in Home and Away. There's a reference. So on the list of wrong things that Donald Trump said, let's also throw in this. He was recorded on a phone call saying,
they're going to run over you. You're going to look like a bunch of jerks. You have to dominate.
You have to dominate. He was saying you have to dominate the battle space. Now, when it comes to trying to ease a situation, that's never a phrase that's going to help. If anything, it's going to make it worse. That's why you never hear people use the word dominate when trying to get out of a fight in a British pub.
Here, watch it. You nearly spilled my pint.
Sorry, I'll...
What, you gonna get me another drink?
No, I'll dominate you in the car park.
You what?
No, it's the least I could do. I'll take you outside to where we park and break you in like a horse. I don't know what you're getting so upset about. I'm just saying I'm going to dominate you like a bitch.
Acting. So Donald Trump's been saying wrong things left, right and centre, but even he had to correct himself because news came out that when there was a protest near the White House, there was a claim that he was in the bunker protecting himself. Then this hit the news. Oh no, he wasn't in the bunker to keep safe. He was just inspecting it just see what's going off in there. I want to make sure it's all going all right because, you've got to show the strength. You can't show any weakness. Yep. This man just will not back down from anything, and it is the least believable of all lies. So if I can, to question him further on this, I just want to be joined on the phone now by Donald Trump, who should be with us. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, it sounds almost like him. That's close enough. So thank you very much for being with us.
Totally.
Tell us the truth. Were you hiding in the bunker?
I wasn't hiding. I was simply checking on the bunker to see if it was okay. It may have been scared. There was a protest going on. So I was seeing if my bunker was okay because I was totally brave.
See, none of this sounds believable.
And I wasn't crying. It's just really dusty in that bunker. Someone should check on it more.
Why are you lying?
And I didn't pee my pants in fear. I was testing the absorbency of the suit. It's a Trump suit. They're the best suits for peeing in.
This is unbelievable.
Also, when I was in the bunker, when I was watching that episode of Doctor Who, I wasn't hiding behind the sofa. I was checking on the carpet back there. Someone may have peed on it. You don't know.
Yeah, someone.
And when I tweeted Covfefe, I didn't get it wrong. I meant to tweet that.
You see, that one's not even a lie. That actually happened. He wouldn't even back down. You fronted out a typo.
I meant to.
Yeah, of course you did.
That's what I wanted to do all along.
Thank you very much for joining us, Donald Trump. Man alive, it's been a crazy time. What's your take on Eric?
Well, I mean, obviously, Trump manages to take a moment that should not be about him. It should be about police brutality in the United States and the militarization of the U.S. police and about Black Lives Matter. That's what this should really be about. But of course, Trump can't have anything not be about him. And the question came up about, why did he go to that church? Why did he, clear out the protesters? Why did he have them tear gassed, have them pepper bombed, which I didn't even know was a thing until now? And so why did he go there? And he tried to say he had a good reason, or his press secretary did.
Going and standing by St. John's Church was a very important moment. And I would note that through all of time, we've seen presidents and leaders across the world who have had leadership moments and very powerful symbols that were important for a nation to see at any given time to show a message of resilience and determination. Like Churchill, we saw him inspecting the bombing damage. It sent a powerful message of leadership to the British people. And George W. Bush throwing out the ceremonial first pitch after 9/11. And Jimmy Carter putting on a sweater to encourage energy savings, and George H.W. Bush signing the Americans with Disabilities Act, flanked by 2 disabled Americans.
There we go. I mean, yes, you're right, Kaylee. I mean, wow, the bravery of Donald Trump displayed, having all the protesters cleared out for him so he could go to the church that had been vandalized the day before. He's just as brave as Churchill going out and standing among the wreckage of the Blitz, just like that brave Jimmy Carter putting on a sweater. Nothing says bravery like putting on a sweater, or being like George H.W. Bush and having the courage to stand next to 2 disabled people. I mean, who would do that? You never know what they're going to do. I mean, they've got their little motorized chairs. They might run your feet over. My God, Trump is a hero. But I mean, it is a big deal whenever a president of the United States takes a walk outside of the White House. I mean, you can see how dangerous it is.
Hey!
Freedom, peace, hope, and charity.
President, how are you? I'm Dan Bishop.
Dan, good to see you.
Can we get a picture with you?
God, I miss him so much. I mean, you didn't see before that happened. I mean, he literally had his soldiers out there mowing down hundreds of people. They did that. But I mean, God, it's just a different kind of president. I mean, what I really want to be is I want to be this woman.
I'm here and I'm so excited.
Give me a hug. I'm glad you're excited. I'm excited.
Can I get a picture?
Yes, you
can.
can.
Oh my gosh, it's like the best day of my life.
You gotta...
Oh, I can feel him. You could just see his hand reaching down, giving her that little, I want to be her. I want to be touched by Barack. But what we can't miss out on is, in a way, Trump uses everything as a distraction, right? He's managed to, in many ways, move the narrative off of what we should be talking about and onto him. And he's working on the things that we're always worried about. I mean, one of the things, we've got a clip of here. He's starting, you can't, this guy is sly, right? He's still starting to put up his wall. I think we've got pictures of it, don't we? Look at that. While this is all going on, you can see that he's still got people putting up the wall, to keep people out and spend all of this money that is just ridiculous and unnecessary, and it's not going to change anything, is it? And it just shows you that he uses these diversion tactics, and he's got it, isn't he? Trump's managed to get what he wants. Look, here it is. There's the pleated wall around the White House. So I bet Melania's looking at that wall and she's thinking, oh boy, I'd like one of those, because that's the way Melania sounds.
There is a chance that wall's there to keep her in rather than other people out.
I would imagine so. It protects us all if he just stays in there. Now, obviously, social media is coming to it, because basically he stood in front of the church that he went to and he held up a Bible. Of course, social media people come in, and one of the things they did is they started sending around this picture, because they've said that he's just fascist and holding a Bible there like he's never touched one. And that next to him there, that other guy on the left, in case you don't recognize him, is Hitler holding a Bible. Now, it turns out that photo is fake. And Trump supporters have been really clear about that this is a fake photo. That is not true. Hitler never held a Bible like that, because Hitler would never use a Bible as a prop.
Bad times. Listen, thank you for all your messages. Chris Curling says method about which bit of the acting was it? Was it? It must have been the pretending to be in a pub. Also says, have you noticed that every picture of Melania Trump has the same expressionless look? Obviously, living the dream on the inside of the fence. Moloko B says Ring of Steel. Is that? Oh, I see. Because that's what they call it when they surround a thing. I get confused between that and Ring of Fire, which is a curry-related thing. Mark says, miss you guys. We missed you too. Someone pointed out today that Trump's boasts, intelligence, money, etc., were exactly the same as Idi Amin's boasts. Interesting. And, well, he did promise a wall, says Mark. So, yeah, do you know what? Yeah. He's certainly delivering, although he's not. He's delivering. Yeah, it's not a wall, it's a fence, isn't it? But
it's something. He's trying. He's trying to ruin America. But thank you as well to people who've made a little bit of a contribution to the show, because as you noticed, we got the little Ko-fi thing there, because we don't have jobs anymore. And thank you to Chris for contributing, regular contributor Chris. We love you. Also, Alan, thank you very much for your contributions to the show and for joining us. And if you do like what we're doing, and you aren't one of those, if you're one of those lucky furloughed bastards, just 80% of it. I may have pensions as well. I shouldn't be so sorry. I'm asking you for money. I shouldn't be so much attitude about it. But if you do like what we're doing, you think I'd buy those guys a coffee if the coffee shops were open. You can do that on the contribution link down there.
Are you worried that when coffee shops actually open, people will just want to buy us coffees? It's got to ruin our business model for trying to stay afloat during this time. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, the comedy circuit is so fucked that basically that's the only way that we'll get paid. So we turn up to a gig, it's like, there you go.
We'll work for food, it's true. So the link's at the bottom. Donate if you're enjoying it. Send us messages. Wherever you're watching it, you should be able to message, or you can track us down on Twitter as well. There is an update of British news. This is not long ago. I was watching the press briefing, and we found out that face coverings will be made compulsory on public transport in England from the 15th of June. And I like this. I think this is really good, because here's all you need. You need a face mask and some parfum. And what you do is you get the parfum and you just spray it around this area of the face mask, right, in there. And then that means when you, look at me working with props, that way when you put it on, you get the scent around this bit here.
Yeah.
Which means you don't have to smell other people on public transport anymore.
That's true.
Oh, it's got to be so good. Also, because it'll be in the summer, because it's after the 15th of June, sunglasses. And if you're a balding gentleman like myself, or a celebrity, let's pretend I'm doing this because I'm famous. Often you wear the thing. Look at this.
Oh, my God.
Well done, police, spending all of that money on facial recognition technology, because this is what you got to be faced with. on public transport. Also, it means that when someone gets on and starts doing the old, "Excuse me, I'm just trying to raise some money," you don't even have to move to hide. You don't have to lift a copy of the Metro up.
Wow. I'm going to say, you've never looked better, Steve.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, there's very little of my face that's still on show. So I also genuinely think this is a really good idea to wear the face mask on public transport because of this story. Scientists are trying to look into super spreaders. They reckon that they could be responsible for 80% of all cases, and scientists are trying to work out what makes someone a super spreader in comparison to the 20% of normal spreaders. And if you look at the areas where outbreaks have been, some of them can be traced to like one person. What makes a person a super spreader? I got a theory. Stephen Allen, BSC's ONS over here. We know that the disease is spread through aerosolized droplets of moisture that we breathe out.
Yeah.
Maybe the super spreaders are people who spit when they talk.
Oh, those people.
Those people. The one who, if they hit a plosive, if the word's got a P in it, they're just spraying it all over you. And that's including all the virus these days.
Yeah.
So, and this is what we've done wrong. Because if it's words with P's in that are leading to more people catching it, right, what you should do, don't just wear a face mask. Try and select your words so you're not using P's. Is that possible? Oh, can't say that. Is that doable? I think it might be. It certainly would be polite, kind of you to do that. And actually, thinking about it, if the letter P is causing more people to catch coronavirus, we shouldn't have called them super spreaders. Because when you diagnose them as that, it's part of the problem. Take a look.
Well, your results have come back, and I'm afraid to say you're a super spreader. A super spreader? That's preposterous. Yeah.
Acting.
How much of the day do you spend just talking to yourself?
It's a lot of the day. A lot of the day. For the scene in a pub earlier, I had to attach my phone as a camera to my ceiling fan. Yeah, I got a ceiling fan. It's a 4-blade. And for that one, I just attached it to a table. But, yeah, I'm acting around the place.
Wow. That's impressive.
We've got some bits. Daffy Ducky's a super spreader, says Mark. Preposterous. Heather's given us a smiley face.
Nice.
Are people more worried about unlocking their phone whilst wearing a mask? If you've got the face recognition, you're screwed.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. If you change your face recognition photo to be you in the mask, then it could be anyone can unlock your phone.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, robbers wear masks. Damn it.
Yeah.
And Anatheta says, what is your BSc ONS in? Have I not waffled on about this for ages? Chemistry.
Dear.
Chemistry, the
Don't
finest of all the sciences.
I do want to say some thank yous as well to some people that have made some contributions to us. Thank you very much for supporting us. Sam has given a nice little coffee for us, and Mark, and I think there was another one that came through there as well, and I'll try and find it and thank you in just a second. So thank you very much. We appreciate your I feel like tips. Just, shove those dollar bills in the old G-string.
Okay, took a turn, didn't it?
I mean, I guess you wouldn't want an actual coffee shoved in
your G-string. No. A few more messages before we move on. The Bishop says, are you going to discuss the space mouse, as I feel this needs to be addressed? I did download the video. I didn't put it in the show, but there is... we can talk about it without showing you the video. Have you seen it, though, Eric?
Which story? What is this?
As the SpaceX rocket was on its way to the moon, to the space station... There's a video of it where there's a little thing that moves and it looks a bit like a mouse. And so some people think this is evidence of it being faked. I can't help thinking there's a mouse up in space right now just going like, shit, I picked the wrong hiding space.
Yeah. Well, if they've gone to the moon, of course, it's made of cheese. Duh.
No wonder it was trying to get on there.
Yeah.
And Stephen Leatherdale says, in a cap, mask and gloves, looking like a character lurking in the dark depths of a bar in Mos Eisley Spaceport. You've done a reference I didn't get, but I don't think it was a compliment.
I like getting heckled on social media. That's fine. And you know what? You can say what you like to us if you give us a tip. So, well, speaking of wearing face masks on travel and so on, one of the things it looks like we might be starting to do more is returning to the air. And maybe people will start traveling a little bit more. Maybe they'll start flying a little bit more. I know that British Airways is thinking about it because they sent me an email today welcoming me back to the possibility of travel.
We've missed you, world. We might not have seen you for a while, but we've never stopped looking forward to the day we'll all be together again. And when the world opens up, we're ready to get you flying to the people and places we all miss.
It's nice to know that somebody misses me. That's what I like, is slow motion commercials with sappy music saying, hey, we're ready. But they've been working on their airplanes. They've been coming up with their strategies to clean the planes, which apparently they hadn't done before, and to get us back flying again. I also, because I'm a world-class traveler, I also got an email about the sorts of things that Ryanair are preparing to do to welcome us back. And the airplane aficionados will know that is a scene from Airplane 2. We did debate about which clip of the airplane to use. There was one I wanted, and Steve said
I vetoed it. I vetoed it because Airplane 1 is definitely the better film. I'll give you that. But the panic scene, it suddenly has a woman move across the screen, bouncing her boobies and moving across. And we have been taken down from YouTube enough with these shows.
Not for those reasons. But yeah, so I mean, if travel opens up again and, you wear your face mask on the tube to the airport, you get on that airplane, Steve, where are you going to go?
And the glasses and the hat, and then stand there at the face recognition gate trying to get through it. Nowhere. I'm one of these people. I was reading an article today that I'm annoyed that I didn't write this as a column first, about having a fear of having to go back into society when lockdown ends. I know a handful of introverts. We don't talk much, and that's the way we all like it. And when lockdown happened, this was a great time for us. But I fear everyone who's not introverted that I know keeps saying, I can't wait for lockdown to end. We'll have to do this and do this and do this. And it feels like there's a reckoning. There is a punishment that's going to come my way at the end of this, where I have to spend more time with other people than I would have done to make up for it.
Of course.
So if I could go anywhere when lockdown's over and done with, right here. Maybe in that room over there where I film myself talking to myself.
Well, you can sit in that room where you used to film a national television show as well.
That's true. It is that room. All of the clips tonight have been filmed in, at once, the replacement for Elstree.
Yeah, the Allen Studio.
I should put that a big sign on the wall. Plaque. Replacement for Elstree.
Just your neighbors will be like, "What the hell is he doing?" Just put it on the outside of the house. You get a blue plaque now on your flat.
If I make it myself, no law against it.
No law against it. So there we go. Back in travel. Thank you to Heather, who just gave us a little bit of a Ko-fi. So thank you very much for that. That is very much appreciated. Before we move on, any other socials to mention there?
Yeah. So Stephen sent a reference that I didn't quite get. Mark says it's Star Wars. That's the problem. I'm not up on Star Wars. I've watched all the films, but I don't really connect. I don't really like Star Wars.
You're a Trekker, aren't you?
I'm a Trek kind of guy, and I've still, even though I've done nothing with my life for 11 weeks now, still not finished all of Star Trek Voyager. By God, they made a lot of episodes. And no offense, every time you notice it's a Naomi Wildman episode, skip.
No idea what you're talking about.
Moloko B says, didn't the mice make everything anyways? A la Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Ooh. People are doing some good sci-fi references.
I've just started reading that with my son.
Nice. And is he helping you with the big words?
Yes, he is.
Mark says, call it Allenstree as opposed to Elstree. Yes. Loving this. Also a message saying, it's so great to watch you two. I've been off work for 16 weeks, was already ill when lockdown started, and you've made things so much better for me, says Mark Randall. I'm amazed that we have. I don't think we've made things better for ourselves.
Nope, we have not. But we're glad we're here for you, Mark.
Yeah, hang in there.
Anytime. My wife doesn't even speak to me that nicely, so thank you.
Keep sending messages. We'll chat some more on these. You can send us, buy us a coffee. The link's at the bottom. I want to do our regular feature. Sports.
Sports. Sports. Sports. Sporty sports. Sports.
I want to
Sports.
do sports stories just so that we can play that, even though I don't give a shit about sports.
The sports story that I've got for us today is this one. With football coming back, the Premier League may introduce artificial crowd noise.
Nice.
Because they're going to be playing behind closed doors. You can't have a crowd in, but apparently it wouldn't be the same without hearing the sounds that you would normally hear if you're watching football. So I guess at the Chelsea games, they'll have to play in the racism. Ho! Another football burn.
And satire. Well done. That was like crossing over.
Satire. It's a news story from 4 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, still. It's a burn.
They're still doing it. And also the thing that the people do, they have to, actually, let's do it this way. They'll have to play in the booze if they're watching the football team that you don't like. So you do football jokes.
Nice.
You basically you insult a football team and leave the name of them right until the end of the sentence. Just how jokes work. But I thought we should nick the same thing. All of the things they're doing to bring back sport, like the cardboard crowds we should do at gigs. Basically, we should copy sport. So I think we should do the same. We should have different sounds that we could play in of crowds. Because look, I love the fact that people enjoy this show. I really enjoy doing it. But it's not quite the same without an actual crowd in. So I think I can just play them in and it will make it feel like I'm funny again. I've got some one-liner jokes.
Here we go.
Topical one-liners. Here we
go.
Start on this side. Donald Trump is so fat, when he sits around the bunker, he sits around the bunker. Satire. The government guidelines in the UK say that if you want to have sex with your partner but you don't live together, you have to wear a face mask. Still, it's better than the paper bag she normally makes me wear. Where does Napoleon keep his armies? Up his sleeves and not fighting his own people. You should pay attention, Donald. And I got another one which... Eric didn't know what to do at the start of the show before we started. I wrote this down and said this is my favourite and therefore worst joke that we're going to do today. The government rule says that if you don't live with your partner, you have to wear a mask during sex. And I know what you're thinking. What about Cummings? Yep, you have to wear a mask for that too. They didn't find that one as funny as me.
Even your own canned laughter didn't quite come all the way through on that one.
But hey, I'm here all week. Are you kidding me? On the bit that even I prepared, I'm still getting booed.
That's how masochistic comedians are. We put in our own booing. We just want to make sure we don't get too big at our own station.
Yeah. So there we go. If you've got any little jokes you'd like to say, Eric, I've got one left, by the way, in my clip of canned laughter.
No, I don't want to say any jokes.
I think that one's from Cheers.
Thank you. Someone just donated, and that's what it came through as. So thank you, someone.
Thank you.
So someone likes your comedy, Steve, I think.
Not everyone.
And we've got, I think we're coming towards the end. I've got one more story to cover. So if you'd like to contribute, we will be back next Tuesday, of course, at 9:00 in the UK. Any other socials we need to cover before our final story, Steve?
Anacita says, glad to hear it's not just me who's anxious about the end of lockdown. Another introvert. Yes, exactly. And Stephen's now sent me a picture of Star Wars. Speaking of being sent pictures, depends how you're watching this. If you're watching this on your TV, and I was speaking with Darren in the week, what you do is you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then you go back to it, and it just turns up on your YouTube app on your smart TV, or you can Chromecast it, and then send us a picture of you watching us on the telly. It makes us feel slightly better about life.
Yeah, if you do, yes, whatever. Actually, it's nice to see what devices people are watching us on. So if you want to take a snap of that and send it in to us on whatever, you can tweet us, you can Facebook us, you can whatever you want to do.
Also, Stephen on Twitter, you can track us down on Twitter, says he explains the Star Wars references. It's a bit like 10 Forward, but less well lit and no Whoopi Goldberg. Star Trek Next Generation reference. We're back.
All right, we already have to deal with your science chat enough. We're not going to turn the show into a Trekkie convention.
Actually, before we move on, can I just quickly do a Star Trekkie bit? There was an expert, Professor Robertson, said that people should do the Vulcan greeting to replace handshakes. No, even me as a Trekkie person would say, No, because we already have waving. Why do you need to do this? Because not everyone can do. I'll be stood there like an idiot for half an hour while some non-Trekkie person gives it the old, no, I can't. And at the end of it, they'll just give the old Winston Churchill.
Yeah, that's true. I guess, but if you can't do this, time for you to go.
I see your one. I raise you two. Synergy. That's something else.
We go together like scissors. Quickly, thank you to Stephen, not you, a different Stephen, for a little bit of Ko-fi there as well. So thank you very much. Right. I think in addition to the sports segment, we have another sort of ongoing segment. We may need to come up with a kind of sporty sport introduction. And this is a segment that I think I'm going to say I'm agreeing with Piers Morgan again. And, oh, God. But it happened today. Good Morning Britain. He had Rudy Giuliani on. And, I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, here's a little bit of it.
Rudy, I'm sorry, but
the interview is over as far as I'm
you
concerned.
sound completely barking mad. Do you know that?
No, I don't.
You've
you
lost the
sound
plot.
like a big
You've
liar.
lost the plot. And it's sad to see.
You're the one who got thrown off the television here.
Yeah.
Because you had ratings that were about 2.
Yeah.
So don't tell me I've lost anything.
You keep going, Rudy.
I know what happened to your show, Piers.
Yeah.
And I remember the mistakes you made.
I remember.
And I remembered how you sucked up.
Yeah, but I remember.
So don't give me that stuff. I know who you are.
Ouch.
I mean, I know how you sucked up as well. The thing is, we've got the clip here in a second. I listened to that the first time, and I thought pretty clearly he said "fucked up" on Good Morning Britain. Now I know I've been on Good Morning Britain twice, never with Piers, and the whole time that you're on, you just sit there and go, "Don't swear, don't swear, don't swear, don't swear." Obviously, Giuliani doesn't care about anything, and because he truly is bonkers. But if you just isolate it, I think we've got to just again, don't we?
Sucked up.
I can play it again and again if you want, just so we can have a good listen.
Yeah, I mean, let's add some context to it. Let's say Donald Trump's presidency is.
Oh no, it's not replaying now.
It's not there. It's there. It's there. It's sucked up because it does. I mean, I don't want to make fun of him for this because he does have a bit of a lisp. So I don't want to make fun of him for that. I want to make fun of Rudy Giuliani because he's become a complete fucking moron. But it's beautiful to watch. And once again, Piers Morgan, you're my guy. How could Piers? I mean, oh.
Yeah. It's amazing to see him. Rudy is just losing it, isn't he? He's sat there with his little microphone at home, just ranting like that. What's gone wrong? Basically, he spent too long near Trump. He realizes that you can pull direction by doing something crazy like that, and then no one's talking about policy. They're talking about how he managed to say. It takes away. I've got to let it rest first. There it is. Let it cool down.
Let it cool.
Sucked up. That's not even a phrase, is it? No one. I know what you did wrong. You sucked up. Doesn't make any sense.
But you can tell his lost it because further on in the clip, he doesn't even remember that he said it. He said, "I use foul language." I didn't use foul language. I mean, that's how much. But he's a New Yorker, to be fair. My wife, I mean, she yells at me all the time, and I'm like, "You're yelling at me," and she's like, "I'm a New Yorker." And I was like, "Oh,
that's what I do."
Okay. That's what I do.
So we're 3 minutes over. We'll wrap up some chats now. Mark says I can double Vulcan as well.
Ooh,
the double Vulcan.
That's not a thing.
Is it not? That's
that means something else.
Live
it's
long and
sexual.
prosper like this.
Yeah.
And there's some nice smiley faces coming in as well. Thank you for your messages. Don't forget, if you'd like to drop us a coffee, the link's at the bottom. We'll be back on Tuesday as well. Oh, you must be doing some weekend gigs. What have you got coming up?
Well, yes, Crack Comedy is doing Crack Comedy Live on Sunday night at 8 o'clock. So if you go to crackcomedy.com, there's links to take you through there to the show. And we've got, what's great about lockdown is that there's some really good comics that would never do my regular comedy club otherwise, but they're desperate and they don't, but they, yes. So I don't want to, we got Sarah Barron live at the Apollo, Paul McCaffrey live at the Apollo, Carl Donnelly. He's got a fantastic podcast. He was on Russell Howard's Good News and it's Dave's comedy show and so on. And Josh Howie, who's at his own Radio 4 show. And then there's me, who was on Good Morning Britain.
You're on this.
Yeah, and I'm on this. I'm on this. Oh, and I've got someone on one of my socials is Shantha has said, is in Sri Lanka, and has said this is a funny program. So we are global.
Wow.
Sri Lanka.
It's a bit fancier than we normally expected, but wow.
I'm pleased with that. Are you doing any gigs, Steve?
No gigs at all. A few little radio appearances, but nothing particularly paid. So
you're just going to sit and listen to that laugh track, aren't you?
I'm going to sit and listen to that and just keep growing the beard, which still in
It's
real
getting there.
life it looks so much worse than it does on here.
Yeah, it's getting gingery. It's proper ginger now.
Because I used to have a mottle of lighter than ginger, and dark, and all of the dark has just gone grey.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if you can see, but I've got a crown. Got a crown on this side of the face.
Now it's just like you're using us for a mirror.
This is definitely the better side, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to sit around growing the beard for a while. Because that's what I've got going on in life.
So we will be here back on Tuesday. Do check out Crack Comedy on Sunday if you want to do that. You can send us your problems. We'll try and solve them. I'm sure that the world will be fine and better by next week, right?
Yeah.
Can't get worse.
And do us a favour, if you get a link to the full show, send it to friends as well. That would really help us out. Let's plug this bad boy while we're here.
That's it. And thank you. I got a little Aussie who said thanks as well. And keep the faith. Thank you, Aussie. We will. And throw us a coffee if you can. And otherwise, I guess we will see you next week.
Yeah. See you to them. Bye.
Thanks very much. Bye.